Let's take a look at these quarterbacks. Here's a closer look at Mac Fields and the rest of the quarterbacks taken in the first round of the 2021 draft. It's presented by the Oakers Company, proud sponsor of the New England Patriots. No quarterback here exactly lighting the world on fire. Mac Jones, the only one with a winning record for his career. Justin Fields, 4-12 as the Bears starter. All right, so let's bring in Phil Perry. Phil Perry is here. We have found him. So let's get into this. Let's get into this redraft. A redraft of the 2021 draft for the quarterbacks. Matt Cassel, if you had to do it all over again, how would you do it?
You know what? I'm still taking Trevor Lawrence overall, and I just think through what he went through, the adversity that he went through in the first season, the Urban Meyer debacle, everything, the talent on that team, he still is a generational talent, and you can see him getting better week by week. So I've got him number one. Number two, I'm going Mac Jones. I mean, what he showed over the first year, how he was considered potentially the rookie of the year throughout the course of the early parts of last year. He just brings stability to the position. He plays the position the way it's supposed to be played. And then from there, it's a crapshoot, boys. I'm going with Justin Fields.
That's high.
Hey, you know what? Again, Justin Fields has not been, it's been a disservice to him. His offensive line, the coaching changes, all the stuff that he's had to deal with, but I still think Justin Fields has a bright future. Zach Wilson, I put it 4. Look, he's been injured a ton, and being injured a ton at that position is not a good quality to have. Durability is more important than ability. You hear it all the time. Zach Wilson's still making bad mistakes, but he is on a team that runs the ball first. And finally, you got Trey Lance. Trey Lance, unfortunately, he hasn't been able to step on the field and got hurt early in the season, so we really don't know what we have in Trey Lance. So that's how I'm drafting this class if I'm doing my redraft.
Phil Perry, you always agree with Matt Cassel, so I expect your board to mirror his. Let's see it.
Yeah, it's funny you should mention that, Michael, because I remember a Matt Ryan conversation from last year that we might want to revisit, but not tonight. Now's not the time.
That was last
I would say, as far as Justin Fields goes,
he's got receipts.
Oh, Cappy definitely threw that one out there.
I got him, baby. No, listen, as far as Justin Fields goes, unfortunately for him, and you just can't divorce the situation from the player himself. And the situation has done him no services in terms of how they've tried to develop him. I think over the course of the first 2 years, they have no talent on the offensive side of the ball right now. I was talking to a member of this Bears staff here tonight, and they know they are rebuilding right now. They know they may have the worst receiver group in the NFL. Justin Fields not being helped by the situation, but I think there are some concerns about his game overall in terms of how quickly he sees the play develop, how much he can understand in terms of real-time processing of opposing defenses. I think those are questions about his game when he was leaving Ohio State, and it might just be because he hasn't seen enough football, right? Maybe he's on a Josh Allen type of trajectory. I don't want to live to regret this, but I think as far as the first-round quarterbacks that we saw go a couple of years ago, I probably would have him last right now just based on what we've seen. I think there's still a lot in terms of the accuracy and the vision that we've seen from him through 2 years that needs improving.
How close is this group to being one of those historic quarterback bust years? I mean, look, Mac Jones is a good player. He's Rick Myra level right now. That's where he's trending, which was fine for Rick Myra. But if you look overall, this could be a 5 picks out of 15 were quarterbacks, and big, which one is going to be really good? Could they go over?
You know what? They could go for, and again, a lot of it I think is because of where these guys were drafted, right? They went to situations that are not great situations to develop young quarterbacks, and there was a lot put on their plate early, and they knew that they were going to be in a struggle. But again, anytime you're dealing with a young quarterback, you also have to worry about their confidence moving forward, and sometimes that's the biggest thing for these guys to overcome in year 2, year 3. They're used to getting hit. They're used to putting the weight of the world on their shoulder. They're getting beat up on the outside by the media, by everybody else around them. So it'll be fascinating to watch as these guys go into year 3, year 4, and even guys like Trey Lance, if he's ever going to get his job back.
There's guys like Daniel Jones right now who are providing that kind of pushback that maybe Trey Lance and Justin Fields can do in a couple of years. But Daniel Jones took the slings and arrows. Those guys are taking them now.
Where would Bailey Zappi? I know it's a different year, but where would Bailey Zappi go in this? Let's add a 6th quarterback to the mix. If you had to throw Bailey in there, where would you take him? How about you, Phil?
I'm taking him after Davis Mills. I still actually kind of like Davis Mills. I thought last year was a pretty impressive year, given the circumstances in Houston for Davis Mills. So I still would go with him ahead of Zappe. Zappe would slot in behind him, but ahead of guys maybe like Kellen Mond. I think I'd be comfortable with Zappe over Mond, but he's still second, third, fourth tier of that group.